Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate strongly condemns the terrorist attack that targeted a convoy transferring Iranian military in the city of Zardan, southeast Iran. The International Forum for Science and Technology Diplomacy concludes its works, calling for nominating the Sultanate to lead international efforts to develop ideas that support the UN Sustainable Development Programme Life Below Water. And the producer price index in Oman increases by 29.5% during the fourth quarter of the year 2018. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Alexander Vučić of Serbia on the occasion of his country's National Day. The Sultanate strongly condemned the terrorist attack that targeted a convoy transferring the Iranian military in the city of Zardan, southeast Iran, that left a number of dead and wounded. The Sultanate expressed its sincere condolences to the victims' families and its solidarity with the Iranian government against terrorism and violence in all its forms, anywhere and any time. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nomani, Minister of the Royal Office, received in his office today General Joseph L. Votel, Commander of the United States Central Command. His Excellency the Minister of the Royal Office welcomed the guest and his accompanying delegation. The US military official expressed his thanks and appreciation to the Minister, stressing his country's keenness on enhancing all frameworks of the existing cooperation between the Sultanate and the USA. His Excellency Saeed Badr bin Saud bin Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, received in his office at Muaskar Beit al-Falaj today General Joseph L. Votel, Commander of the United States Central Command, and his accompanying delegation currently visiting the Sultanate. The meeting reviewed fields of existing military cooperation between the Sultanate and the US, as well as means of enhancing them to serve interests of the two friendly countries. The meeting also discussed several matters of common concern. The participants at the International Forum for Science and Technology Diplomacy extended a cable of thanks and gratitude to His Majesty the Sultan. In the cable, they expressed their utmost thanks for the Sultanate's hosting of this international forum, valuing the international efforts of His Majesty in leading peace efforts, enhancing the role of sciences and linking it to Omani diplomacy to achieve the goals of sustainable development and the future vision of Oman Vision 2040. The conference recommended to appoint the Sultanate to lead international efforts to achieve Objective Number 14, dealing with the development ideas that support the United Nations Programme for Sustainable Development, Life Underwater, and the follow-up of achieving economic diversification through focusing on ocean economy sectors. The conclusion day was presided over by His Excellency Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Foreign Ministry. Still to come in our news bulletin. More thrills in the fourth round of Sailing Arabia, the tour with sudden weather changes putting competitors' skills into test. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The producer price index in Oman witnessed an increase by 29.5% during the fourth quarter of the year 2018 compared to the same period in 2017. This led to an increase by 36.6% for oil and gas products and by 0.8% for non-oil products, according to the latest figures released by the National Centre for Statistics and Information. The price hike for non-oil products is attributed to the increase in prices of the manufacturing sector by 1.4% and the price decline in the mining, water and electricity sector by 1%. In order to strengthen partnership between the municipality and community and spread awareness on the importance of preserving the cleanliness of the city, Muscat Municipality, in collaboration with PDO and BIA, organised a clean-up campaign at Al Gubra Beach. Our reporter Salah bin Khalfan Al-Rabi has more details in the following report.
Under the theme Better Than It Was, Muscat Municipality, PDO and BIA launched a campaign at Al Gubra Beach to promote partnership with local community and to preserve the environment.
This campaign is being slogan by Better Than It Was. We are aiming to increase the community responsibility and to be a part of the cleaning of our beaches and all our general places. This campaign is done as to be all the community involved in cleaning all the place and to make it a better place for them.
Different segments of the community took part in the drive to clean up Al Gubra Beach in an attempt to conserve the place and leave it in a better condition for all.
I think it's very important to have an awareness among all the communities, whatever the nationality. It's very important to keep the beaches clean. For the sea life, for the birds, for everything, very, very important. And even the children who come and play here, they run across the hot charcoals, the glass, picking things up. It's very, very important.
It is worth mentioning that the initiative will last for 6 months, covering all beaches of Muscat Governorate. Each month will be dedicated for one of the 6 wilayas of Muscat. Indeed, such campaigns instill among the community the importance of preserving public facilities. From Al Gubra Beach, Salah bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The Wilayat of Dukum in the Governorate of Worcester hosted the 4th round of EFG Sailing Arabia, the Tour. The event was held in Dukum Port. Competitors used the high-performance Diam 24 multi-hull sailboat as the competition witnessed sudden weather changes that put the competitors' skills and adaptability into test. The thrill of the competition lasted for 2 days, in which 6 international teams and 4 national teams competed against each other. One of the Omani teams was an all-ladies team with 3 Omani sailors and 2 French sailors. The French team won the Dukum sailing competition and were announced as champions of EFG Sailing Arabia, the Tour. A press conference on the Tour of Oman 2019 was conducted this afternoon in the presence of local and international journalists and media personnel. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Ribai.
World's leading cyclist stars have descended upon Muscat to take part in the 10th edition of the Tour of Oman 2019, which begins in Sawaddi on Saturday. This was highlighted in the press conference held this afternoon, where Mr. Salim bin Mubarak Al-Hsani, head of the Committee of Tour of Oman 2019, pointed out on the importance of this annual event. Ali bin Khalfan Al-Hsani, head of the Media Committee, spoke about their coverage. There are 28 medias and 30 journalists present for this occasion. 5 TV Eurosports such as GCN, Infrasports and other, 3 websites for cycling news, as well as written press, and 5 photographers for media focusing on tourism, while the leading committee for Tour Oman explained in detail on the 6 stages with a total of over 900 kilometers to be covered.
This is the 10th edition of the Tour of Oman, so it's an important anniversary. Not many races get to 10 years. That shows that the municipality of Muscat And the organization of ASO decided really to work together, and it's brought already the race to a 10th edition with a strong participation, with an interesting route, and mostly with the ambition to go further with already an agreement for the next 5 years.
Tour of Oman has achieved remarkable success in the past editions. The annual event has attracted the attention of global sports community as the cyclists pass through some of the most scenic locations of Oman during the various stages of the race every year. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Olite, a tiny 357-strong village in northeastern Spain, would likely have disappeared if it weren't for olive trees. Thanks to a sponsorship system organised by residents, more than 7,000 trees have been given new life, attracting new families to this increasingly deserted rural area. Here is a report.
These ancient specimens are just some of the 7,000 olive trees that Sira and her friends have resurrected in Olite, a village of just 357 residents in northeastern Spain. For €50 a year, an individual can sponsor one of the 100,000 abandoned olive trees in the region.
The sponsor can choose their own olive tree from a catalogue and give it a name. Then they can see it transform on our webpage or our app, from its abandoned state to a state of optimal care, all thanks to their support.
As well as bringing the trees back to life, the scheme aims to revive Oliete's economy by attracting new families to a village where almost half of the population is over 65. In 4 years, 2,500 sponsors have adopted trees, creating over a dozen new jobs. Cesar moved to Oliete to take up one of the new positions.
If there is work, I could stay here forever. I'd like to buy a house and make something of my life, at least fill up the village.
Thanks to the arrival of new workers and their families, the village was able to save its only school, which now has 6 students. For Esther, who resides some 300 kilometers away near Madrid, it's the lives, not the olives, that count the most.
It's much more than a tree. With my €50 and someone else's €50, they're getting a village back on its feet, which would otherwise be abandoned. I think that's great.
Several hundred bottles of Oliete oil are now sold every year at €12.50 for half a litre, and it's even possible to buy online. Sponsors receive 2 litres a year as a thank you for helping these ancient trees secure a brighter future.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be southeasterly to south, light to moderate. Seas will be slight, with a maximum wave height of 1.25 metres. is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate strongly condemns a terrorist attack that targeted a convoy transferring Iranian military in the city of Zadan, southeast Iran. The International Forum for Science and Technology Diplomacy concludes its works calling for nominating the Sultanate to lead international efforts to develop ideas that support the UN Sustainable Development Programme Life Below Water. And the Producer Price Index in Oman increases by 29.5% during the fourth quarter of the year 2018. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.